Hey there, I'm coming on for a few minutes. I just got off a call with someone that has fundamentally shifted my entire day. And during the call, part of our conversation just led to, do you remember what life was like right before the election, or even like January 2016? What life was like on a day-to-day basis, how you felt about the energy that you felt, how you felt around the way that opportunities were in your life, and what was just generally being in the air. A feeling of hopelessness just generally being in the air. And it made me think back to 2016 because I was like, well, when I think about it, Obama had spent the last 8 years really working on hope. And I wanted to bring this into today's conversation. I very rarely talk specifically about people and politics and such, but I want to just put out something that feels very true to me in this moment. I love to put it out there for others to think about, which is right now, the biggest thing that we are facing right now is a feeling of hopelessness. If I was going to be very honest around some of the things that I feel that the Trump presidential period has brought in, has been really to work to kind of remove what has been done from Obama's perspective. And if you ever hear me out here, you'll know this. I say I think Trump is a genius. He's done things that, quite frankly, I'm like, you have to be a genius in order to do. I couldn't figure out how to change the world, the whole world in this way in such a short period of time on my own. But like, by golly, he's figured out, he's done it. That to me takes a genius level approach to it. I think it's important to call it out and give props and recognize from that perspective. And at the same time, I think it's also important to look at it from the standpoint of what's really going on. Given that he's a genius, what does that mean? And I think what I'm putting out here today, in a way that I normally don't. Typically, I would feel pretty vulnerable or something around this, but it feels like it's an important thing to at least put out into the world for your consideration. Is if on a macro scale, what Trump has done is to kind of take back what Obama has put into action. The number one thing, the core of everything that Obama did was around hope. And so, if you feel it right now, what I'm hearing from people, what I'm hearing is missing is hope. There's a sense of hopelessness that is pervasive, and it drains us of energy, and it makes it such that when we enter into conversations with people who seem to have different values than we do, it's hopeless to get to a conclusion. It's hopeless to find common ground. It's hopeless to do anything other than just survive. It's not even can I live, it's can I exist. And all these things were I can feel like a flood of thoughts coming out here. So I'm going to pause myself so that you can think about it as well. And I can also compose myself a bit to be helpful. The thing that I want to leave you all with is this one concept. Great, I've called that out. The more important part about this here is yes, there's a distinction, and being able to see that distinction is, and seeing how that might play out for you, whether or not you think it's true or not. Just even having those thoughts and allowing that in, that's great work being done. What maybe come on here to share this message here is not about my political views or your political views. I don't really care what they are. Instead, though, I think it's around restoring or bringing to life that which we already have. Hope already exists. We are just being marketed to feel as though it doesn't. We're shown examples of how it doesn't happen. We're shown examples of what it looks like for someone to be unreasonable or to not work with us. And as such, it continues to perpetuate this idea that we're in a hopeless world. We're not in a hopeless world. Hope already exists. Now, I almost feel like we had the last few years to learn and see what was possible when hope was put out there, and now it's on us to bring hope into everything that we do. And so, if you're going through your day, actually no, this is not supposed to be inspirational or motivational in any kind of way. It's just to remind us. It's just to remind us that we already have it. One of the things that has been really a life changer for me has been through the book Community, the Structure of Belonging by Peter Block, as well as through my mentor Rich Litvin, who wrote The Prosperous Coach. Peter Block talks about modeling the world, the future that we want in the current moment. And that in any conversation, in any experience that we create, in any kind of interaction, that we put out with ourselves and with others, that is an example of the world that we want to create. And if we come from that place, then we've already achieved what it is that we're looking for. And all that we need to do is just be true to it in that moment. Rich Litvin talks about a goal. He says, especially impossible goals. Impossible goals are not a place to get to, but they're a place to come from. And I'm offering both of these here because I think in a lot of different ways, they're speaking about the same exact thing. One is done on an individual level, and the other is done on a community level, right? An organization or a group level or a team level. But the idea here, the core principle behind it is the same, which is let's not wait to create the conditions for something to happen further out in the future. Instead, let's come from that place in every single thing that we do. Let's use that to guide our decisions. I came onto this video not having any idea what I would really say. I had a couple thoughts in my mind, but more than anything else, I wanted to be the hope for someone. I don't even know if I am being hope for others, but I know that that's the place that I'm coming from. Just to remind us that hope is something that we have within us. We don't need to find it, we just need to free it. It's already here. And so my ask of you, my request, and this really is an invitation, you don't have to do this, but my request of you is that for the next 24 hours, and for those of you that want to take on a longer challenge or longer invitation, please do it. But for the next 24 hours, enter every part of your day from a place that hope already exists and that you can be the hope. Whether or not someone else is providing it, maybe at that time they need to be filled with hope. They need to be reminded that hope can exist for them. That's okay. If you can take it upon yourself for the next 24 hours, it's not that long. In the grand scheme of things, one full day of saying, I am going to be the hope. In my world, with every single person that I interact with, I will be an example of hope. I will continue to invite others into hope. I won't impose it upon them, but I will be that and remind people what it's like to come from that place. We won't get the answers right away. Like I said, it takes a genius level to be able to orchestrate what has happened in such a short period of time. It takes a genius level for even Obama to come in and really bring out the hope. But in this moment here, we have the choice and the chance to be a genius. Actually, I think choice is far more powerful than chance. So let's go with that. We have the choice to be genius for ourselves and to bring that hope into our world right now. How it's going to look for you is going to be different than how it looks for me. For me, part of it is coming onto this conversation. I have to leave. I'm coaching for the rest of the day. I have several hours of that left there. But that's the context in which I'm going into every conversation with. Where's the hope and how can I be that hope? How can I bring that out there? And then we'll just see. And for today, in that conversation, in that one particular instance, you've won. You've been enough. There's nothing more that you need to do. It is complete in and of itself. Be the hope. Be the hope. Be the hope. Here's to your next frontier. I'm Nemo Ashong, founder of Enjoyment and world pioneer leader of the World Joy Movement. That's what I was looking to say. I'm going to go and be the hope right now, and I encourage you to be the same. All right? Until later on, journey on.